Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. I am back in the laboratory in Southwest Florida and I've been away for a while, so I am just backed up and I've got a lot of stuff going on. And because it was my first time back, I had 3 different people show up in the laboratory today with capsules that needed to be, capsules or seed that needed to be flasked. And then I've got a ton of seedlings in the laboratory that need to be transferred onto replate media. I'm also giving a talk tonight at my local orchid society on growing orchids from seed. So it's a very full day. I'm sorry about the background noise here. I am in the hood and the hood is on. And I want to show you a smattering of things from throughout the laboratory. No real theme today other than some of the things that I've got going on, just to give you kind of an idea of what I'm dealing with today and what's going on right now. So what I first want to show you is a capsule that I came back to, and that's right here. So this capsule right here, it started to split. So it's a little premature. I'm not sure what's going to be in here, but I'm not going to, because it's split, you really can't surface sterilize the capsule, because if you use bleach or alcohol, it'll get into into the inside of the capsule with the seeds there. So what I'm going to do is do a surface cleaning and open it up, and then try grabbing some of the seed in the protected bottom part of the capsule and plating some of that. I've done that in the past with varying degrees of success. So the capsule split. This is the flower end of the capsule right here, and the capsule splits starting at this end. And what I'm going to do is, in the hood, I'm going to clean them up a little bit, open it up, and with sterile instruments, I'm going to pull some of the seed out of the basal part of the capsule, and I'll try showing some of that to you. So that's a little bit of a different approach that you can use. It's really quick. You don't have to sterilize. You just do a surface cleaning of the capsule and then try to be clean in general when you pull the seed out of there. The one other thing that I want to show you, because it's funny, is that a colleague provided another capsule to me today of one of the crosses that he made. And this is the capsule right here. And as a comparison, there, you see that difference? So this is a incredibly huge green capsule. It's starting to get maybe a little yellow right here, but it's in great shape. It's green. The interesting thing about it is that as how long ago it was crossed. So I think he told me 240 something days since this thing was crossed, which is plenty long. There's not real any indicators that it's ready other than the age of this thing, and it's been hot over the summertime here in Southwest Florida, so I'm sure this is going to be ready. I'll open it up, and I hope the seed inside is dry and it's just going to pour out, and there's going to be probably, from looking at the size of this capsule, there's probably going to be a couple million seed in here. And I asked him, so you want how many hundreds of thousands of plants? And he goes, oh no, just a small amount. We'll see what's in here, how good it is. The other thing that I have is I've got a lot of seed that people provided to me. So the capsule split and they poured the seed out into envelopes and stored it and waited for me. So I'm going to do some seed sterilization. I'm not going to show you that today because I've shared that method with you in the past. It's slow, it's pretty labor intensive, but it works pretty well. I'm evaluating a couple of different approaches for seed sterilization, so I may do a video on a method of syringe sterilization where you pull them, when you sterilize them actually in a syringe, and then you pull the sterile water up and out and up and out. And then I also have a method that I just sterilize the seeds, the free seeds, in microfuge tubes in same concentration of Clorox bleach. I'll have a separate video of that coming up. But I wanted to share I wanted to show you what was going on in the laboratory and show you, just like I said, a few different things and what's going on. The first thing that I did when I came in this morning, because I got so much stuff going on, is I made 3 liters of the replate medium. And so I made the medium, I autoclaved it, and I'll pour it into tubs that I also sterilized this morning. The way that I temper the medium, the way that I kind of keep it at the right temperature before I pour it, is I use a sous vide. And what I want to do is get behind the camera and show you. You can just use a standard sous vide at the right temperature. Again, the idea is to create a water bath so that the medium doesn't get too cool, doesn't set up, and it's maintained until I'm ready to pour. So I've got 2 1.5 liter amounts of media that are right now at the right temperature in the sous vide that I'll pour in the laboratory. But let me show you the sous vide, and I might show you just a little bit of the plate and the deli container flask pouring. Okay, so let me get behind the camera and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are, and this is it. There's not much to it. This is a nice laboratory, inexpensive laboratory grade sous vide. So what this does is it keeps the water, so the set point is at the bottom of this readout, and then the actual temperature is the top number up here. But you can get any kind of inexpensive kitchen sous vide if you want to do this at home. And then this is my water bath, just a tub. This is a polycarbonate tub that I use for deflasking, or for my deflasked orchids. And these are my 2-liter bottles, each containing 1.5 liters of medium, and it holds it at this temperature right here until I'm ready to pour. So this is a pretty cost-effective method of making your own water bath that holds the medium at the right temperature until I'm ready to pour it. Because I've been running around doing a lot of stuff today, and I didn't have time to pour this immediately, but you can't pour it when it's fresh out of the pressure cooker. Autoclave is so hot. So now it's at the right temperature. I'll pull 1 flask or one of the jars and pour it, and then I'll get back to the second one and pour that. Okay, so I can show you a little bit of the pouring. It's not much to it, and I'll show you, just like I said, just a little bit. All right, here we go. Okay, and we're back. So, and again, it's going to be, I am in the hood, and so we're going to deal with a little bit of background noise today, and well, at least for this part of it. And this was in the, I didn't show you exactly where it was, but this bottle was, in the sous vide, was in the laboratory. So whenever I bring this, and it's a really dirty lab, so anytime I bring anything inside the lab, I try to really clean it up good. This is just 70% isopropyl and rubbing alcohol, and the university laboratory that I was in, we use 70% ethanol. Isopropyl in this facility is a little easier to access. So ethanol is a little bit more difficult to access, so what I do is just use the isopropyl. You know, you have to be a little bit more concerned about inhalation of the isopropyl fumes. It can also be that same way with the ethanol, but you know, after you do that, and if you're careful about it, it's fine. What I have is just a bunch of deli containers. I've had videos previously that I've shared with you on how I prepare the containers. They have vented lids, so there's holes in the lid with cotton, plugged with cotton, and then laboratory tape on top of that. I've showed you also, I have a previous video on how I sterilize the containers here. So I stack the containers, but they tend to stick together, so you got to put a pipette tip or something down on the bottom when you stack them so that they don't stick together when you're doing this. And now I'm just going to pour these. You pour them by eye. I don't want to talk when I'm pouring, because when you talk, you might be spewing organisms in the flasks, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to pour a few, speed it up, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think you get the idea of what I'm doing. There's a few things that I wanted to, that might have been seem a little bit unusual to you that I want to explain to you. First thing is that I do often continually shake up the stock bottle of media right here. I got the charcoal in the medium. There may be other things that are insoluble, and I want to make sure that they're resuspended so that I get good distribution of these compounds in all of my media. The other thing with the weird hand motions up in the air and things like that, you have to be aware of the flow of the sterile air in this hood. And so what I'm trying to do is stay, well outside of a contamination zone. So I have this weird where I have to lift up because the airflow is kind of coming down at an unusual angle. So I try to stay away from places that I think are going to have contamination in my containers. So I don't want to hesitate because the medium's cooling. You don't need to watch it. So I'm going to finish with these deli containers. And I also should say I'm pretty generous. I put 100 mils in each one of these containers, which is a lot. I close the containers up. I get really good growth. They're vented containers. So I put a lot of medium in there so that I can get really good growth of the orchids in this vented container. All right, so I'm going to shut it off, finish pouring the plates because it's slowing me down just a little bit, and then I'll show you some other things as we move forward. All right, well, I poured the rest of my deli containers, but I also wanted to show you how I pour the plates, just so you can see it, just in case there are any questions about it. So these are 100 by 25 millimeter dishes. These are the thick dishes. You get them in a sleeve of, it says 13 per sleeve. Fisher brand is what I buy, but there's other brands that you can buy as well. You tear the top off. They're kind of, the way that they're packaged, they're upside down. So I grab the stack of dishes and then I put it in groups of 4s, and I got 4, 4, 5. And then I go through and I grab the, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can. You grab the dishes, the top of the dishes, so there's 4 in this stack, and you grab the lid of the bottom dish and you pull it off. You'll see how I do it. I'll show you the first group of 4. I'll do slow and then I'll speed it up for the next. Again, I got to get the media poured so that it doesn't solidify. You shake it up. Okay, so that's it. There's a couple other things. I got a little left over, so I need one more dish, but I'm going to take a break and talk to you. A few things. So I pour underhanded for a while. It's a good bicep workout, and shoulder hurts a little bit after that. And then once this bottle is light enough to hold, I then can pour it. So I pour it this way, but then once it's light enough to hold where I can grab it and not drop it. If the bottle's full, I can't palm it like this. And so then I switch directions and I hold it at the top. The one other thing is that I pour by eye, so I think I'm pouring probably around 35, 40 mils in each one of these Petri dishes. And like I said, these are the fat, little thicker Petri dishes. The final thing that I want to share with you is the bottle that I'm using. These are glass bottles. They're called Duran bottles. And the lid, around the lid, and I got one more plate I want to pour, so I'm not going to get too close. But around the lid of this bottle is a little plastic ring, and plastic is hydrophilic, and that means the water, when you're pouring it, the water doesn't drip down the side of the container, it beads up. So when you pour it, pour back, pour, you don't get constant dripping down the side of the bottle, and it's because of the kind of bottle it is. It's actually a medium bottle that I use specifically for this. It has other applications too. It's a real thick bottle, and again, the little plastic ring that is around the lip of the bottle aids in the pouring of this media, so you don't, if you drip down the outside is not sterile. I kind of wiped it off, but it's not 100% sterile, and you might get some dripping back into the container, and you don't want that. So I like using these bottles. Okay, so that's it for the media pouring, and I'll get into the the capsule sterilization. And I'll just get into the capsule sterilization. I want to show you at least how I do the kind of quick half sterilization of the capsule. Okay, and we're back. I have a lab coat on. If you could tell, I have that large seed capsule is sterilizing in 50% bleach solution right now. I have it over on the other side of the laboratory in a bottle on a shaker. So hopefully my timer won't go off when I'm showing you this, and that'll mean I'll have to cut it short and go get the capsule. What I wanted to show you though, while that capsule is sterilizing, is a method that I kind of made up for how to extract the seed from a how to extract the seed from a capsule that is split. That, you know, I'm not really hopeful about this capsule, so I don't want to put the time into pulling out the seed and sterilizing the seed the way that I normally do that. So I'm going to do this is kind of a quick method of evaluation of plating of the seed. I've got my seed germination medium right here, which is different from the replate medium, which I just showed you how to pour, and that's set up here already. It's probably been about 15 minutes. This is the small capsule that I want to show you how I'm going to sterilize it. Again, it is split at the top, and I just want to show you what I do. I'm not real hopeful about it because this thing split early. The capsule, the flower was pollinated little over 2 months ago. So this should take probably 4 or 5 months. So I just think that this capsule split prematurely, and I don't think there's any viable seed in it. But we're just gonna do a quick method to take a look at it. I'm going to be using my hands and sterile instruments right here. I use to sterilize the instruments, I use this item, which is a bead sterilizer. The instruments get really hot. It's heated up to 300 degrees centigrade, which is hot. You sterilize it in there for 30 seconds to a minute. Sometimes I leave it in there longer, and what happens with metal instruments is they get really hot when you let it sit in there. Anyway, so I take them out here and then I let them cool. So but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be doing a lot of things with my fingers on this capsule, and for that reason I'll kind of clean up my hands pretty well, and then I've already sprayed this capsule with 70% ethanol, 70% isopropanol, and I'll do it again. I really douse it pretty good, pretty well. And so that is right here, and I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see a little bit more about what I'm doing. I've got a dish right here. I'm not sure whether I'll need it. Again, this is kind of working under semi-sterile conditions. But what I'll do is I will cut I'm holding onto this end with my fingers. I'm trying to stay downwind of the flow of the sterile air, so I'll try to cut this off just really close to where the split is. And what I might be able to do, and I'll try this first, is just to see whether I can pull back part of the capsule to reveal the seeds inside. And if I can't do that, I might have to cut it with a sterile capsule that I have here. So let's just see if I can do this. And what I was able to do is pull back one of there's 3 parts of this capsule, and I was able to pull back one but not the other. Oh, there it goes. And you got to be really careful about how you do this. And I'm pulling it at the top, and I've got a little bit of dust-like material on my forceps. But because I touched the outside of the capsule, I will put those in there and let those sterilize a little bit more, and then I will take my remaining sterile instrument that's cooled down and try to reach in there in such a way that I can pull out the seed without touching the outside of the capsule. And then let's see how this goes. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of, I've got some seeds, and I just want to, again, I don't think this is gonna, they don't look bad. But I don't think the seed, just because it hasn't been long enough time, I don't think they're gonna be viable. Okay, I've gone twice with this forceps, and so what I'll do is grab the other forceps. It does take a little bit of time for the forceps to cool. So again, this is semi-sterile conditions, and again, and then I'm going to cool the tip of the forceps by dipping it in the medium. And I'm reaching in there fairly carefully. I'll show you a close-up of what I'm doing here. Not a video, well, maybe a video. I'll show you the end result. So I reach down in the middle in an area that is probably clean. So this is at the base of the capsule, well below where the thing split. And I'm grabbing seed, and there's a lot of seed in there. Like I said, I just don't think, and I'm going to use this again for the next plate. I'm just going to do a few plates to see what I get. All right, what I'm going to do with the last plate is, hopefully I got something out of all these. I'm just going to pour it out. Let's see if there's anything I can get. There's a lot of seeds coming out. You probably can't tell from where you are, but there's seeds coming out, and then the flow of the hood is blowing most of the seeds right here. So the hood probably has the hood surface probably has as many seeds as this dish. Okay, so that's what that is. You just kind of reach in there carefully, try to avoid the outside of the capsule, and grab those seed. And I've used this and it works, but you've got to watch the plates because it's not as good as sterilizing the capsule or sterilizing the seed directly. But if you've got decent technique, you might be able to get away with this. I'm going to look at the seeds in just a little bit, and underneath the scope that I had to remove to shoot this video. So I'll look at the seeds, and I'll just do a quick video on how the seeds look, and get right back to you. I took a real quick look at the seeds that came out of this tiny capsule, and I'm happy I didn't spend much time sterilizing the capsule or the seeds inside. I looked, of the seed that I looked at, I didn't see a single embryo. I probably looked at, maybe 1,000 seed that I plated in these dishes. I didn't look at everything because I got to get to the next capsule. But these just didn't look very good. I am going to hold on to them just because you never know what's going to happen. I looked at some of my flasked seeds earlier today from a Maikai, from one of the, a lot of them are doing well, but I had a Maikai cross that I was really excited about because the capsule formed. It was about the right amount of time, a little bit short, and then same thing, the capsule was split. So I plated all that seed, and out of I think that same thing, I had 3 to 4 plates, probably containing, maybe 10, 15,000 seed. I had 3 protocorms forming from that cross. So I'm pretty excited about that. The breeders want lots of good seed. I don't necessarily need that. I'll take just a few good seed. I'd rather have more nice seed from this specific cross. I wasn't expecting this to be a problem. This is a small flower times a big flower. So I don't know what, but I'm going to hold on to these seeds. I'll mark them, put them on the shelves, let them go for a couple of months and see if I get anything. If not, well, I didn't spend a whole lot of time flasking it, but I'm glad I tried it. And you spend even too much. You spend that much time waiting for a capsule to form. You put the effort into thinking about the cross. It's good to get something, but there's a lot of failures when you do this for someone like me. Okay, so that's it for here. I am going to show you the results of that large capsule sterilization, and that'll be it. There's not enough time to look at a lot of the flasks in the lab. We'll save that for another video. Okay, so let me get the capsule, clean it up, rinse it with water, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. Okay, sorry about the scattered arrangements of parts of this video, but what we have and what I want to do right now is to open up the seed capsule, and I'll share with you what we find inside. It might be kind of hard to see what is going on. My expectations are it'll be good. This thing is huge, but it's sterilized, it's ready to go, and I'm going to have to open up with instruments. Also, when you have a capsule that's this big, it tends to be really hard to get through. So I've got scalpels with not new blades on them. So we'll see how this goes. This capsule was sterilized in a 50% bleach solution for 20 minutes. So it should be pretty clean. And I'm not even sure how this is going to fit into this container. This is a big capsule, but let's just see how it goes. I may have to stop talking so that I can figure out how to best approach this guy. See, it's even too big to grab. It's not even going to fit in this dish, kind of like how I want it to. So just watch, and we'll work through it and see how it goes. Okay, I don't know if you saw that. I'll get a close-up of it, but there's a lot of seed in there. They're white and not really cream-colored like I would like them to be. So I'm going to grab some of the seed. It's not as dry as I'd like. They actually, as old as this capsule is, they don't look mature like I would like to see. But I'm going to grab some of these out of here and put them in a dish, and see what they look like. Okay, and I'm gonna, you don't need me, I'm not gonna keep on recording. I'll show you at the end what this looks like, but that'll be the last portion of the video today. Shoo! I'm relieved. These embryos didn't look that good. They're really white, and in the capsule, and then the seeds really close to the edge of the capsule are starting to brown, which is kind of an indicator that they're not. It doesn't look like they're quite ready, but looking at them under the scope, and a lot of these do have nice embryos in them. So I was worried when I first opened the capsule because the embryos are white, and I saw the browning so quickly at the edge of the capsule. But then I plated these things out, and there's a lot of the embryos, a lot of the seeds have nice embryos in them. So I think we're good. The embryos themselves, the seed aren't dry. Sometimes I'll open up a big capsule like this and they'll be dry, but they're not like that. So it probably could have gone another month or two, as big as this was, and as long as it was. So capsule maturation is based a lot on environmental factors, temperature, other, the genetics of the plant as well. This one could have gone longer. I think optimally it would have gone longer. It's ready, and he'll get, the guy that gave me this capsule will get a lot of plants. But it's not quite what I was expecting to get. Anyway, but it's a good story because it's better than nothing, which is what I got in the previous capsule, I think. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video, a little bit scattered of different things that are ongoing in the laboratory. I am going to do more videos of the actual seedlings, and I got a lot of seedlings in the laboratory, both in the mother flask, and I got a lot of nice big seedlings in these in larger flasks in the laboratory. So I'll share those with you for my next lab video. So I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you have any comments or questions about what I did, if you prefer to see something a little better organized, I'm sorry, that wasn't what I had for you today. So I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.